This is Being the New Human. We're starting off July here in our first class for July. We have 3 Being the New Humans this month because I am working on some other things at the end of the month. So we have 3 this month, but they are power packed. And the month is geared for the throat center. So every month now, we just started this. Last month was our first month of connecting our understandings and our teachings even deeper, as into understanding a new center of our main centers in our being and allowing us to work with that center. So last month we did third eye, and many of you were with me then. And if anyone is here and they weren't there here with us through the third eye, you can get those videos. They can be available to you. You can just email me and let me know, and I will send you the information, reference those. But this month we are throat center. So throat center is a powerful center to be learning of. See, what's fascinating to me is as I prepare this to share with everyone and bring to everyone, I think to myself, wow, like we really do begin to interpret and understand and process so differently as our beings expand in their ability to take these things to a deeper level, these understandings. So the concept of even having these incredible centers of energy that are our main centers. We have many centers. We have lines of energy that run through our bodies, through our cells, through our organs. But these main centers that we're going to give note to and learn about, they connect even with one another. Some of them, like last month, we learned about the connection between the third eye and the heart, the brain and the heart, and the coherence and the power of living from that understanding and practicing that understanding. So I hope everyone's been tapping into that exercise and working with that concept. And now this month with the throat center. So the throat center has a connection to your sacral center. And even working on preparing this, I was learning at the same time. And it was like an aha moment. I was like, wow. And I'm so grateful because I have a lot of clients that this will really be helpful for. And it just brought a new level of availability to be able to bring something else to the table that will assist humanity and will assist me as well. So when we're going to go into this space, the main objective of today is just allowing ourselves to be open to the concept of the throat center as an energy center in your being that is a center that processes change. That's our first spot we want to kind of allow here. And I will explain deeper why. This center also keys into your authentic self. So your truth. And many of us, and I was one for a long time, and I still have spaces that I work through and oh, okay, I see that's what you're trying to tell me, I'll say to my own body. But many of us have stuff that will come up in the throat, the ears, the neck, the shoulders, the mouth, physical ailments, sensations, pains, pressures, whatever. These are all related to the throat center and it trying to tell us or let us know something's imbalanced, something's off, something's blocked. It's a really powerful center to allow yourself to open your mind up to meet, right? To meet it, to meet this part of you and get to know it very well. So change is processed in the throat center, and your authenticity comes from is where the energy flows at its purest, most vibrant state is when the being is in its most authentic space. So that would be living for your being, your soul purpose, your joys, and not for, you know, how we can get into spaces where we make choices based on what we think is expected of us or would be seen as the best for us, or we should do this, or we should say that. And there's so many examples that I know all of you have experienced, as I have, where you'll have an interaction with someone or an experience or even your own thoughts, and your throat will begin to feel tighter, or you'll feel a lump in your throat. And you can just tell the energy is moving differently in that experience, in that center. And it's you communicating with you via the sensation or whatever it is you're experiencing. So to start off with just a couple real basic tools and go-tos for the throat center in general, for a balanced throat center, for a open throat center, a healthy throat center. First and foremost, of course, living your truth, right? But then one must find one's truth, right? One must open the door, be open-minded and have an open heart for yourself, love for yourself in order to really live that space. But the beginning with the awareness of, and we're going to work on that in our exercise today, am I living my truth? What is my truth? So this exercise today is going to help us not only meet our throat center and open our door to this particular center, but meet ourselves on a deeper level and allow our authenticity and our wholeness to come forth even more into this now version. And we can always be bringing in more of us, even if we're at a space where we see we have done tons of growth and expansion and we live in a very joyful state. There's always more of us that is waiting to be brought in. Or if we're in a space where this is very new and we're just embarking on this journey, this part of our experience, there's more of you waiting in that space as well. So this meets everyone right where they are at, because we are ever expanding beings. So it's beautiful in that sense. But with the throat center, some basic stuff to know is, so it's connected with all centers, all main centers are connected with an organ or a gland or a physical space in the human body. This would be the thyroid. So you have a thyroid gland. Thyroid's an important space in the body. It does a lot of things. It has a lot of connection to hormone functions in the body and many other things as well. But the throat center is connected with the thyroid, and the throat center itself is also, like I mentioned, connected with the throat itself, the tongue, the mouth, the ears, the shoulders, the neck. That whole area is in connection energetically with this energy center. And so blue is the color. And there are different various shades of blue, but blue is the color that the throat center loves. It vibrates in resonance with the color blue. So what does that mean to you? Well, if you are working on healing, opening, clearing, or nurturing your throat center, you may want to wear blue, and it does matter. People think that's kind of a really easy thing, and they say, how can that really make a difference? But everything is energy, and colors are very powerful connective points to energetic vibrations. And so the color blue is an energetic signature or vibration that actually resonates very well with the throat center. And crystals are fantastic for all centers of the body and the body in general. And so my go-tos for the throat center, and of course there are many out there, but my go-tos that I would share with you are lapis lazuli and sodalite. Those are my two favorite. I just happen to have a choker here that I want to do a giveaway with this. And I thought, I'm going to wait till I do the throat center class, and then I'm going to mention it in the class. So everybody who has signed up this month is going to go in the drawing. And then whoever I pull out is going to get it. And if we happen to pull out a guy, he can give it to a girl or wear it himself. It's up to him. I don't care. I hold no judgment, but this just happens to be the piece I have. So, and I'm going to show it to you now because it fits into the discussion. But so this is this beautiful piece, and this is lapis lazuli. And it's a really, really nice piece of lapis. It has the gold flakes in it as well. And it sets right here. So that's a really beautiful space for the connection of the crystal itself with the throat center area. So I just thought that was fun. So lapis lazuli choker is going to go, all the names. We have, I think, about 16 so far that have signed up, but I'm going to give it about 7 more days, see if anybody else comes in. I'm going to draw next Saturday, and then I'll announce who won. So just to share that with you briefly. But sodalite is awesome as well. And you don't have to wear the crystals for them to benefit you, and you don't even have to wear the color blue, but you could You can actually, some people work with art, right? And they draw. And so you could use the blue in the art you're making and creating, and then put it by your bed, put it in your bathroom, somewhere you're connecting with it. And also crystals can go by the bed. They can, if you have a little tumbled one. In fact, I have a small piece of, or I might have given it away to somebody. Oh no, this is good. This is a really, really little piece of sodalite, but you could stick this in your pillow. It's so tiny, and if you stick it in the corner in the right spot, it's not going to get you at night. So you'll be okay. But if you're nervous, put it by your bed. But you could put it by your bed in your pillow. Wearing it on your body is fantastic, though. I tell you that all the time. I love wearing crystals on my body. I really feel they benefit us. So also you can use oils. So frankincense, it's our go-to oil. It just happens to be really good for the throat center as well. And many of you know of the blessing I do in the Acasma grid. And I also teach it in my courses. And so we take the frankincense oil and we bless the centers, right? If you know the blessing I'm speaking of, you'll recall that there's a space where we open our throat so we may speak the truth, right? And we place the oil on the throat center. So you could even incorporate that into your daily practice, and just taking a moment to say, you don't need the whole thing. Those who aren't familiar with it, that's fine. But you could just simply bless your throat center daily. I open my throat so I may speak the truth. And part of that truth being your authenticity coming out, right? Part of that being you speaking words of love about you. It's really, really connected here, guys. Remember, I said in the beginning, it helps you process change. For many of us, that is a change to speak our truth. That is a change to say loving things about ourselves. That is a change, right? So there's many other aspects of expansion and what some call ascension that they involve massive amounts of change. So really think about nurturing this center, being open to contemplate the center, which means just think about it, right? Just taking a moment every day to think of a blessing over this space. Now, of course, you want to bless your whole being and all your centers, but this is the month of the throat. So maybe you just say, for this month, I'm going to pay a little extra attention to my throat. And every month we're hitting a different center. And by the end of the year, through December, we will close out with the last of the 7 main centers. So it's perfect timing for you to embrace all your centers and giving one a full month of your love with that dedicated connectiveness. So another thing that's really good for a go-to tool is an affirmation. You can do a few, have them around your home, like on the mirror in your bathroom or in your car, in the console in the center, or maybe the flip down mirror if you're a person that uses that in your car, maybe by your bed. There's so many places you could put it. It needs to be places you look, right? Because it needs to work for you. If that's when you open the cupboard to get a coffee cup, right? Or whatever space works for you. But a little Post-it, or you can take a piece of paper and write it on there and use a piece of tape, whatever works. They even sell positive stickers now, right? So you could even buy a pack of those and stick stickers everywhere. Have fun with it. Maybe throw some unicorns and rainbows in while you're at it. Jazz the space up. But so you are just looking to affirm spaces of your truth. Remember, we're focusing on the throat center. And this is a powerful affirmation to be able to say, and it's okay if one does not fully feel every space of what they are affirming in the beginning, because you are truly reprogramming your neural pathways and your being to function from a new space. So it's okay. Honestly, I think many of the programs that we are uninstalling right now and have uninstalled that were given to us by, whether it's a parent, a teacher, a religion, a culture, a politics, whatever it is, when we were children or whenever, many of them, they probably didn't feel right at first either. They probably didn't feel right at all. When we heard like, maybe, why'd you do that? That was bad. Or you're never gonna amount to anything, or you're not enough of this, or whatever, everybody hears different things. But they probably didn't feel good either. But for whatever reason, mostly because we kept hearing these things, and they can come from society or movies or TV, like even the culture where we think women have to be super, super thin to be beautiful or something, right? That was a big thing our culture went through, and we're leaving that space. But that was a program that needed to be removed. And when it was taught, it wasn't felt with joy and love. So allow yourself the understanding that you can put an affirmation in there that feels off at first, but if you have the dedication to yourself and the commitment to yourself to give yourself the space and the time to establish that for you, you will, and you can. So you can say, I am love. You can say, I am loved. You can say, I love me. A big one for the throat center is, I speak my truth. I speak my truth. That's a big one. Now, what will happen is you will see the affirmations. You may wear blue. You might have a sodalite or lapis lazuli around you. We're going to learn some breath work and another exercise later. So you've got all this going on, and you say, I speak my truth. And there may be some days where you're in an experience where you say some things and you realize in your heart, it's not your truth. It's not your truth. But that's a good moment. That's an awesome moment. That means everything you've been doing, whether it's all of it or some of it, it is working, because when you feel that offness, you know it's you calling you. When I feel that offness, it's me calling me back home. So you embrace the moment. You don't feel as if it's like, oh, this feels so bad. I don't speak my truth. I just told this person I blah, 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 and I don't blah, blah, blah. Why did I do that? And then you just say, you don't have to go with that route, right? That's a perception. That's a choice. If you want to do that, you can. But here's what I would do. I humbly suggest this. Is you say to yourself, when you have the moment and it hits you and the awareness comes in, you go, huh, okay, I see you. Thank you. Thank you for showing up and letting me be aware of this. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. You cannot change anything that you are unaware of. You cannot change anything that you are unaware of. So when you become aware of something, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means you're now able to have the opportunity to change it. That's a powerful perception point to come from. So you can take care of the throat center in these various ways. The throat center does connect with the sacral center. And why is this so awesome? So the sacral center, I love this, you guys. We are going to take manifestation to a new level. Ready? Woo. The sacral center is a space where we have an energy flow of our creativity. Okay, our creativity. Then the throat center is the authentic self. It functions and processes change, and it is connected to how, we speak, right? We speak our truth, right? We can also use our hands to speak. If for any reason you can't use your mouth, that's very possible. You can use your intention to speak. You can use your actions to speak, right? Actions speak way louder than words many times. But the connection is here that I really want to get across is the sacral and the throat, and blessing the sacral center and blessing that throat and the connection of them, because this is the creativity down here. It's about 2 inches below your belly button. That's your sacral. So that's your creativity, right? And that creative energy is moving, 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 moving. And then it comes up in a healthy, energetic light shaft, which you are, you can be, we are. That energy of creativity comes up, right? When the being is living in harmony with its soul, its wholeness and its soul purpose and balance. And then it hits the throat center, and the throat energy speaks its truth. It's creativity. So here's the birth of your manifestation. You create the energy here, and then you birth it out through your words, through your actions, and your sound as a frequency, a vibration. It's all energy related. You can write the creativity down. You can write, that's spelling it out. That's a whole nother movement of energy, but it is the balance of these two. It's the dance of these two. I didn't even know you could connect these two, or that you do connect these two in this process. I just trusted that I was coming from my soul purpose, which is the overall best thing, truly. But to know these pieces and parts just empowers us even more, right? So the sacral creative energy moves up the light shaft, hits in the throat center, and the throat center activates the change to birth that creation. It's really quite beautiful. We're going to do a little exercise where we actually talk about the sacral and the throat together, but I wanted to teach you one other tool that you can have in your toolbox to carry with you through daily life. And it's really quite easy, but profound at the same time. And it's called stop, look, and listen. We probably, all of us have heard those three words put in that order, right? Stop, look, and listen. So as you are in an experience, whether it's with your own thoughts or whether it's with a family member, coworker, friend, whatever, and you feel any type of tightness in the throat or lump in the throat, or just, it can be other centers as well. This works great for all of them. But just take a moment and say to yourself in your inner speech, right? In your inner being, your mind, your thoughts, your heart, all together, nice and balanced. You're having the moment, the energy's moving and surging, and you say in your being, stop, look, and listen. What does that mean to you? Because that's your like, that's like your switch to say, I am taking control, sovereign control of the space. I'm not allowing the space or the drama or the energy to take control of me. I'm going to be aware, right? So stop, look, and listen is basically that. You're going to stop for a moment. You're going to look at it with your wholeness, your awareness, right? That allows you to see it beyond the now version of you, but from all spaces of you, which means you're going to pull yourself up out of that particular energetic space, and you're going to remember your vastness, and you're going to allow that space of you to see it. So you're going to stop, you're going to look, and then you're going to listen. And yet that means that you're going to listen to your inner knowing. You're going to listen to your inner knowing. And I had this happen to me this morning, which I find fascinating because it made it really, really fresh for me to share here today. And isn't that a beautiful perception? Yes. So when I had the moment happen, I stopped, looked, listened, and I thought to myself of my vastness and my choice in that moment. And I said, this is so interesting. I could respond this way, and it could just cycle, because that's what happens a lot of the time when those choices are made that are, maybe we could see them as a slower choice, if that's okay for that word usage, but they're just not the highest choice vibrationally for us, right? But those types of choices, they tend to, well, every choice cycles, that's the thing. So really, what do you want to cycle? Do you want to cycle the lower vibration and go back and forth about why you're right and they're wrong, or whatever the situation may be? Or do you want to cycle that you just allowed the space to be what the space is? In most instances, again, this you need to use your, common sense to also guide you through some of the, what spaces would she be considering this would be adequate for. But you are allowing yourself to know that it's a choice of what you're recycling. And so that comes back through, it recycles through in all of our experiences, that understanding that you choose, we choose, I choose. And we will continue to be reminded, but we will be reminded from different levels based upon how we have received the last remembrance. So if the last time it came up to show you or remind you of your sovereignty, you listened and you chose the more beneficial space for you energetically, then the next time it comes around, it most likely will not be as loud. Experiences only begin to scream and shout when we don't listen. When we listen and we hear them and we process them for our higher benefit, they have no reason to come back and shout at us. It really does work this way. And then you begin to shift your alignment so much so that you're just not in those spaces anymore. It may be very, very far and few. And it's always for your highest good. So that perception really does allow for space of flow, not war, peace. Remember, we choose if we're making war or peace every experience. So with the throat center handling change, this is a big center for us to embrace the understanding of care, nurture. Water is also really good for the throat center because it actually moves through the throat center when we swallow. And water is very clearing. A lot of people will make affirmations for when they shower, they bathe, they go in the ocean, they swim, whatever, that it, be a clearing for their field. And so when you're drinking water, you can even think of that it's clearing the center, and you're nurturing it with your love, and you're also acknowledging what it offers to you. Okay. And we're going to expand on this through the month, but vibration and sound are extremely powerful. The way in which the universe creates is through color, shape, and sound, vibration, frequency. And that is how we create. We are a piece of the universe. And so we're going to be tapping into this more and more through this month with the throat center. And you're going to have exercises actually for toning and activating your soul messages as well, because they are extremely powerful ways for you to heal your own being, expand your own being, align your own being, and the space around you. So real quick, I just wanted to give you a couple of little things that you can make note of, in your mind or whatever, just signs that if there was an issue in the throat center, how would it come out in the being? So issues with creativity and communication. If you find it hard to communicate, if you find that it's difficult to get your point across or be heard, there is something going on in the throat center, a blockage or something out of balance. If you tend to have some of the physical issues, like you tend to get sore throats a lot, or laryngitis, or maybe thyroid imbalance, hearing difficulties as well. Those are some of the main ailments that manifest from a throat imbalance or blockage. And again, this is really great information to have on hand because many of you are healers and you work with clients and or family members or you coach. And so this is information that you can apply to even when you're working with somebody or yourselves. If you're noticing any of this, they just lost all sense of creativity. They're feeling very drained lately. They're just not imaginative. There's no communication flowing anymore. That's going to be throat center. Now the creativity, remember, is going to go over into the sacral as well, because we talked about the connectiveness there. And so I'm going to go ahead and give you some for the sacral. And with that, the possibilities of things we can see that let us know there's a possible blockage or imbalance. And now these are big. This is depression, fear, anxiety, emotionally unstable, manic. That's usually sacral. And feeling overwhelmed. People are and it's one thing to have an experience, but this is talking about a cycle behavior. So you're not just experiencing this sensation or feeling or situation, and you're having an off day, but this is like the person's depressed, like they're stuck. You know what I mean? Like it's a reoccurring ailment for them or space for them. Now, also, again, loss of creativity is a big sign. Like I have one client I work with that they're a writer. And they went through a phase where they got just the worst writer's block. And so we know that the sacral was involved and also the throat center, because with creativity, those two are connected. So with the creativity blockage, that's going to be both of those centers are having a thing because they work together on birthing and manifesting our creations. The creation starts down in the sacral and then it's birthed through the throat with the action through the throat energy. So, and just a few more really quick: reproductive issues, sexual issues, and addictions are also sacral related. Those will be blockages in the sacral center or imbalances in the sacral center. So that's important to keep mind of, and it just allows us to have more awareness so that we can process through these spaces when they arise, if they arise, and we can just offer ourselves what we need. And we're learning to be so much more present with our beings and able to, we have the power to heal. We have the power to care for our beings, nurture our beings, and we're gaining more understanding of this. That's what's happening. So fantastic. This is such a powerful space to be in. It really, really is. So this, we're going to turn the corner here with the last part of our class into the active experience spaces. So I'm going to just give you a background on this first. So we're going to do this together. And then I highly suggest that you consider coming back to the video when you feel to and get a little bit more comfortable with this, okay? Because we're actually going to be speaking. Of course, you're all on mute. I'm making sure so that we're not going to interrupt anybody else. And if you want to think it, if you want to whisper it, if you want to, however feels comfortable to you in the beginning, but we're going to be speaking 2 affirmations with a breath technique. And this is a technique that I created in my own being that I use, and it's extremely powerful, I feel. And it is throat center related, but it's also entire being because it really is a way in which we activate more of our authenticity in our now line. So really getting ourselves anchored and finding, for many, finding their purpose, finding their soul purpose and their gifts, right? So it's a very short exercise in what you actually do, but you repeat it many, many times. And again, you can go back and work with the video again and again, but it's a breath exercise. So what we're going to do is breathe in really, really slowly, and you'll get a flow with it. And you can, again, adjust it as you need to, because the biggest thing is that you feel comfortable with it so that it works for you. Own it, make it your own. I'm teaching you a basis foundation of it. So we're going to breathe in slowly for 8 counts, and we're going to be saying or thinking, it depends on how the flow works, I am eternal. So that's your thought, your affirmation for the in breath. I am eternal. And then on the exhale, we're going to do it slowly, and it is I am light. And it sounds so simple, but there's something that happens with the breath and the body and the being when you actually do this for yourself. So one other thing I want to add in, when you're doing this, okay, you're going to allow yourself to see all of your experiences. So these are your memory spaces, your future goals. These are, dreams and things you have, aspirations, your now spaces, your everyday mundane moments, It's kind of feel like when we do quantum session work and we go into the quantum and we can go to a space that needs healing in the past, or we might see visions of ourselves in a quantum future space or with our light teams. It's kind of like that. That's kind of what happens, but just allow. You can't mess it up. Just trust yourself and allow. So we're going to breathe in, and it's I am eternal. I will say everything with you. And then we breathe out, I am light. But the whole time you're going to be closing your physical eyes, and you're going to be allowing your inner knowing to just show you all of you. And this will come in beyond this now line, but start with your now line and allow and trust yourselves, okay? So just allow yourselves to close your eyes, your physical eyes, And breathe in. We're just going to do a nice breathe in, nice and slow to just get settled in. Breathe in nice and slow. And let the body go. Beautiful. Now we're going to start the exercise. So we're breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And breathing out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ready? Beautiful. In. Out. Beautiful. Keep doing that. And on your in, you are I am eternal. I am light. I am eternal. I am light. I am eternal. I am light. Beautiful, beautiful. Just allow yourself to breathe. Find the pattern that works for you and hear my words. I am eternal. Beautiful, beautiful. I am light. Beautiful, beautiful. You may be seeing spaces of your past, spaces of your now, spaces of your future. Just allow yourself to speak those truths. I am eternal. I am light. Just allow the space. The cosmic quantum energy is moving. You can allow the space and just be still. You may still be seeing spaces of yourself. You can be blessing those spaces with these truths, these understandings. I am eternal. As you see the spaces, I am light. Just allow. A lot of expansion in the throat center right now. Many are experiencing clearing. You may feel like you need to swallow. Just allow. Line of light from the throat center down to the sacral center being blessed, being activated on a new level to accommodate the space of your consciousness with this new understanding or this deepened understanding, expanded understanding. Some sacrals are a little to the side and they're coming into alignment. Just allow. Some sacrals are a little to the left, so the off balance to the feminine. Many times that happens in spaces where we may overgive in a sense. We're not always on the list, but we put others on the list, and that allows for that little bit of imbalance. So just allow lovingly that center to realign. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Colors are flooding in. Orange and red, gold, purple. I just felt you guys root deeper as well. We'll bless the root centers and the root lines. This is always so important to allow for you to be ever expanding in your anchor that is holding your light. Just breathing in nice and slow. As you anchor in more of you. Beautiful, beautiful. Throat centers are clearing and expanding. Some are experiencing a lot of energy right below the jaw, energy in the mouth. Just allow. Feeling a lot of third eye energy as well. Just allow. Throat center is your processor of change in your being, in your life, and manifesting those spaces through your creativity, your energy rising to create, to see, to visualize, to imagine those now spaces for you, aligning, and you speak of them with gratitude, excitement, joy. The power of your creation. I am, and you are, whatever you place on the end of that sentence. Many of you are anchoring deeper and deeper. Just allow. That's beautiful. That means we have massive expansion happening. The anchor always goes deeper as the light expands. It prepares for the light's expansion. I want to share these tones with you. Your being will hear them, and these words. And this is a blessing on the throat center, on the sacral, on the activation and the opening and expansion of this center. Tone ianawa, tone ianawa, kane iasakau o, tone ianawa, tone ianawa. And yes, you may speak these words yourself if you feel led to. Tone ianawa. just allow many are experiencing expansion, opening of the ear centers, and even the canal, the drainage, the actual tubes that run from the ear, the drainage from the ear, the lymphatic system, feeling like this is opening for some, maybe for all, but I'm feeling this happening. And the ears opening. Someone had congestion in the ears or a blockage in the ear or ears. It is opening. You can claim that. Anchor that. I speak my truth. I am eternal. I am light. I am loved. And I am love. I am vast. I see this world that I am in, and I acknowledge my space and place within it. I am open to be all that I am here to be, for my greatest and highest good, and for that which I bring to all. I see the spaces of me beyond this now, and I love all of my being. I welcome my being on all levels to this now, to be a part of this experience and bring forth the gifts, the understandings that I bring to this space. I rise in my truth, and with joy and gratitude, I am. It's beautiful. Very powerful connection. And you can see your throat center with your inner knowing. Allow yourself to express your love to your own throat center. I'm so pleased to truly take a moment and acknowledge you. Thank you for what you do for my being. Thank you for helping me find my truth and speak it. Thank you for helping me navigate the changes of implementing the true me to this now. And I just take a moment here in this space to humbly offer you a blessing of highest light in alignment with Source from which you come, connected into the spaces of Christ consciousness, which is the spaces of the I am within. And the blessing is for your abundance in all aspects of your life, in the love that you experience, in the joy that you feel, in the laughter that you have, in the health that you experience and walk in the success of your ventures, your ideas, your dreams, and in the connection to your gifts, your abilities, and your purpose. All is aligned in highest light. It is so. You can just allow yourself to feel that space and send out a wave of gratitude. Send out a wave of love. Your light team, your family, your friends, your source, your God. You are never alone. You are never separate. You are a piece of love, a piece of God in this experience. Some of you are experiencing ringing in the ears. You're making note of it being different. Information coming in. Pay attention to what you're thinking when that happens, or speaking when that happens, because it's also connected many times. And just allow yourself to send out that wave of love, and you'll seal this space in that love and in the highest degree of light. You may want to put your hands in prayer position slowly if you feel to. Just allowing yourself to acknowledge the divinity within yourself and the divinity within all. And when you're ready, just slowly begin to open the physical eyes and take in your surroundings, your environment, with that conscious awareness of that vibration, of that space, and of that vibration of you being a bit different than when you closed your eyes just minutes ago. Just allow that, because every time you allow that and you give some focus, some contemplation to it, you actually align and anchor it more. Just allow. Just allow. If anyone feels to stay in this meditation space, this state of energy moving, stay in as long as you feel to. And know that it is your space as well to continue to navigate with your teams and experience wherever you are at in the experience as long as you feel to. Thank you to each and every one of you for being in this space. Thank you so much. Thank you for hearing you, and thank you for being kind enough to allow me to walk with you and for choosing to walk with me. I am deeply honored and very grateful. Unending blessings upon you, Holy One. Unending.